Hey everybody, and welcome back to Exploring Temecula. Today we are going to be talking about the cost of living in Temecula versus San Diego. If you aren't familiar with us, we do videos all about living in Temecula, from the wineries to the housing market to the local events. So please be sure to subscribe if you are interested. We also now have a free home search down in the description, so please check that out, and we'll go ahead and get into the video. So one of the biggest things I want to talk about, one of the biggest differences is going to be housing. Between Temecula and San Diego, there's a huge gap. As with most places in California, the closer you are to the ocean, the more expensive the homes are. So the homes in San Diego are, on average, $170,000 more expensive than in Temecula. Now that's just the average median home price for the area. So really anything that you look at in San Diego, the exact same thing in Temecula would be quite a bit cheaper. And that goes for renters as well. A 3-bedroom in Temecula will cost you about $2,000 a month. The same 3-bedroom in San Diego would be about $3,000 a month. So there is a big difference there. Location is everything, especially when it comes to California. So when we talk about purchasing a home, Temecula is definitely going to be the place that a lot of first-time home buyers sort of gravitate to. You'll be able to get a lot more bang for your buck, a lot bigger house for your money. So that sort of tends to be what people are looking for. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or you're just looking for more space, Temecula is really a great option. You're still only about an hour from the beach, an hour from San Diego, but that hour away from the ocean really makes all the difference when it comes to home prices. So the next thing I wanted to touch on quickly was groceries. I know that doesn't sound like it would be a big deal, but it is one of the costs that you incur sort of constantly, so it is something to consider. Grocery prices in Temecula do tend to be a bit lower. It's anywhere from 5 cents to $1 lower for certain prices. If you do want to check out the full graph, I have that in the blog, which will be linked in the description. It's really just something to quickly consider. You know, also San Diego does have more natural grocers, things like Whole Foods and Mother's and things like that. Temecula has those places, but not nearly as much. So that could have gone into why the average grocery prices are a bit lower in Temecula. Just something to think about though. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is restaurants and nightlife. Both cities have a huge amount of nightlife and restaurants to go to. In San Diego, of course, they have the Gas Lamp District, which is massive. The Gas Lamp District alone has over 180 restaurants, 50 bars, and 10 nightclubs, so that's massive. And San Diego in the last couple of years has become sort of a foodie destination, so that's pretty exciting. One thing to keep in mind, the nightclubs in San Diego can run anywhere from $10 to $50 depending on the DJ, and the drinks are on average about $5 to $10 more expensive. If you wanted to get a cocktail in one of these bars or nightclubs, it's normally going to be about $15 to $20. Now, Temecula does have Old Town Temecula. That's kind of the main street in Temecula. Tons of bars, tons of restaurants, cute, quaint little street, a lot to do, but you're not really going to find a nightclub. The bars do get pretty packed, but they're smaller bars, so they normally won't have more than about 100 people in them. One of the plus sides is, because of this, they rarely, if ever, have a cover charge, and the drinks are quite a bit less expensive. Normally you can get a cocktail from $8 to $12 in one of these bars or restaurants. So just something to keep in mind. Depending on your lifestyle, this may or may not be important to you, but these things do add up, especially going out to restaurants on like a weekly basis. It can definitely get expensive depending on where you live. So the next thing I want to talk about is outdoor recreation. As with most of California, California has beautiful weather, and so a lot of people love spending their time outdoors. Hiking is a huge one here in Southern California. My family and I like to use All Trails. It'll have tons of information about all the different types of hikes and the different difficulties of the hikes. So tons of hiking, really, no matter where you are, Temecula or San Diego, you'll be really covered. So one of the best reasons for living so close to the beach is packing a cooler and spending the day on the sand with little to no cost besides what you brought with you. just tanning and swimming all day. That's an awesome free option that you have when you live really close to the beach. If you do want to check out any of the cafes or the little shops, the Strand down in Coronado is a great place to do that in San Diego. The shops and cafes are on the pricey side. Last time I went, a latte was $8 and the salads were $15 to $16, so you're definitely paying for the location here, but you can avoid that just with a little bit of planning and bringing what you want with you. Temecula also has some great places to walk around, shops and all of that, but what they're most known for is going to be the wineries. Now, the wineries aren't really a place that you can pack a lunch and come for free, but they do have membership options at all of the different wineries that are as cheap as $20 a month. And these memberships come along with wine tastings, normally about 6 to 8 wine tastings per month, and some of them even include a couple of bottles that you can take home. So especially for Temecula residents, that's just the best way to get the full experience and be able to go multiple times per month without really breaking the bank. Now for golfers. I'm sure, as you already know, if you're a big golfer, San Diego has Torrey Pines, which is beautiful. Typically it'll run you about $100 to $230, somewhere around there. They do give San Diego resident discounts, so that's something to keep in mind. But San Diego has tons of other golf courses. They have 80 golf courses, and some of them, depending on your tee time, can be as little as $30, so pretty affordable. In Temecula, there's only 7 golf courses. They're all pretty well maintained, and there's 5 more in Menifee and Murrieta, which are very, very close, but definitely not as much variety. Some of these courses, though, can be as little as $10, so very, very affordable. But really, both of these cities will have you pretty well covered golfing-wise. San Diego just has a lot more variety. Now, of course, guys, we can't go over all of the different costs. There are just so many things that really only pertain to certain different lifestyles. So I just recommend really looking into that. If you do have some costs that are recurring, definitely do a little bit of research and see what it would be in the different cities. Something as simple as preschool. Preschool here in Temecula normally ranges about $700 to $800. Preschool enrollment in San Diego can be all the way up to $1,150. So just something to think about. Go through your lifestyle, figure out what you're spending money on, and see what it would be if you are deciding between these two cities. Well guys, I hope that you found this video helpful. Please like and subscribe if you did. We'll be doing about 2 videos per week in this upcoming year. So we'll see you next time on Exploring Temecula.